Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune page. Here you will find original news programming, exclusive digital events, and shows that are directly from the community. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we believe in giving a voice to the voiceless. We are proud to be the only national brand to empower everyday people to make a difference. Since 1886, our reputation has been built on truth and responsibility. Thank you for watching and making a difference.
For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
Welcome to a celebration at the precipice of time, where the power of women knows no bounds. Experience her story unfolding, a reawakening of our collective consciousness to the monumental achievements of our foremothers, a tribute to the battles they fought, rights they've secured, and paths they've paved that women all over the world are continuing to navigate and expand upon. Her stories are unfolding, empowering growing, building legacies of pioneering women by sharing their stories, celebrating their accomplishments, and embracing the rights and privileges they've bestowed to us for generations to come. Welcome to a celebration at the precipice of time, where the power of women knows no bounds. Experience her story unfolding, a reawakening of our collective consciousness to the monumental achievements of our foremothers, a tribute to the battles they fought, rights they've secured, and paths they've paved that women all over the world are continuing to navigate and expand upon. Her stories are unfolding, empowering growing, building legacies of pioneering women by sharing their stories, celebrating their accomplishments, and embracing the rights and privileges they've bestowed to us for generations to come.
Welcome to another segment of Her Story Unfolding, honoring women's legacy, past, present, and future. And in every segment, we always say this is a very special segment, but let me tell you, today is a very, very, very special segment. This is actually a segment that we have had planned since the very beginning on March 1, because we know today is a very special day to this woman that is very, very important to us at the Los Angeles Tribune. So let me ask you, Alicia, how excited are you for this segment that we have on Her Story Unfolding today?
I am delighted, Ava. I'm truly excited for our special guest, Dame Doria Cordova, to be joining our Her Story Unfolding stage with her special guests, women in her community that she's brought together to celebrate their stories unfolding. And what Dame Doria is so special. She is such a our lives. I felt connected to Dame Doria before I even met her. I had never met her, but I had connected with individuals that she's inspired, that have written books that I've read, like Success Principles by Jack Canfield and Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And that is what it's all about. Her Story Unfolding is all about sharing the stories of individuals that are impacting their life, impacting their community, and planting the seeds that ripple, like we talked about in our segment yesterday. So today is truly a special segment. Dame Doria is close to the LA Tribune family, as Ava has mentioned. You may have seen her in other shows and other programming, but it was very, very important that we invited Dame Doria here to engage with you all as part of Her Story Unfolding, because her story is continuing to unfold. But as her story unfolds, it has such a ripple effect across society here in the US, but also globally. She has students through her Money and You programs, literally in probably every continent in the world. And she really is just an inspirational person who's rooted in peace, who's rooted and deeply grounded in who she is, that enables her to share her grace with the world. And she has invited special guests that we are looking forward to bringing onto the stage shortly. But Ava, I would love for you to share in this moment to introduce Dame Doria Cordova and invite her to the stage.
Absolutely. Oh, my honor. Dame Doria Cordova is the CEO of Money and You and the Accelerated Business Solutions Business Program. And we could tell a lot about Dame Doria's accolades, but the way that she changes people's lives, in the way she trains people with business, money, leverage, and systems is beyond words, incomparable. The things that you see now at the Los Angeles Tribune and even my life is a product of my gift of being in the presence of Dame Doria and having been a graduate of Money and You. So with great pride and with great honor, let's bring to the stage Dame Doria Cordova. Dame
Mm.
Doria.
Thank you so much for having me here. And you know why today is a special day for me, right? And maybe I should repeat that again. And
I would
thank you.
love for you to be. We know personally, but I love Dame Doria how the why this is a special day for you, because it's a very unique story that it's very inspiring in how you transformed it. So please do tell us.
Oh, just very quickly. Today was when I was 18 years old, actually, and take a deep breath because this has a happy ending. But today was the day that he actually was killed. And then 4 months later, I actually miscarried his baby, and I was only 18 years old. And I was like, the word devastated, it doesn't really express how I was feeling at the time. And basically, what I did, I just became a little workaholic and just immersed myself for 8 years in absolutely anything and everything that would keep me busy so that I wouldn't feel my feelings. But as the Great Spirit would have it, I was at the beginning of the human potential movement being brought to the world. I was in the middle of all the, I was a hippie only for 2 weeks. I didn't last very long as a hippie. I took a shower every day, even when I was a hippie for 2 weeks. But it wasn't quite my lifestyle, but I love the spirit of the peace and the love, even though I had no idea what that was within me. And then, of course, at 26 years old, I ran away from the legal system, being an official court reporter at the criminal court system in Los Angeles. And through a series of circumstances, which is a whole book there, I moved to Hawaii. And of course, Hawaii with its magic, it just began to heal. Beauty heals. This is why you want to surround yourself with beauty. You want to be in beautiful places. You want to experience sun eclipses, sunsets every day if you can, because beauty heals. And I had a beautiful enlightenment experience when I was 26 years old on the island of Kauai in Hanalei Bay, which propelled me to go looking for my purpose, except I didn't know any of those words then. It was just, I felt this energy that said, I did not put you on planet Earth to be a party girl. You have a job to do. And of course, within months, I met Buckminster Fuller. Within a year, I attended the first business school for entrepreneurs and found myself with a group of pioneers that were creating a new educational system for entrepreneurs and for teaching so many things now that have really began to impact the world. And just like people way before me dreamed us up that human potential principles would go into business, it was the same thing for us in 1978 when we were at the first business school for entrepreneurs, that we began to dream up all of you that were not quite, I'm in my 70s now. And so I absolutely know that many of you that are doing this beautiful work are now going to continue with what we started. And then you'll dream up the next lot until the world works for 100% of humanity. So I transformed the most painful, most horrific day, March 27th, into a day of celebration. And when I realized, when I was doing all the self-mastery work, what I needed to do was I needed to find people that were born on March 27th, that special things had happened on March 27th. And little by little through the decades, I have transformed transformed it into a day of celebration. And I have quite a few friends whose birthday it is today, and I too many to mention now. And happy birthday to you, and thank you for bringing me joy into my life. And now we get to celebrate with beautiful women like the ones that I'm going to be bringing up here in a minute, on a day that used to be my most painful, now to be one of the most joyous.
It's so transformative, Dame Doria. And I love that you're actually birthing something else today. And we're going to be talking about that because you didn't even know that it was going to be birthed on this day, but coincidentally, something that you're excited about, something that you just like really is next level for you and for the people that, like look upon you like we do at the Los Angeles Tribune. You're birthing something beautiful and empowering and powerful today. So I'm excited to get to that. But Dame Doria, I would love to give you the stage to bring the women that we get to honor with you today.
Well, thank you so much. I have a couple of very special women with us. And I have to start with the one that I met longest, and that is my beautiful friend, beautiful Maria Simone. And Maria is somebody that I actually is a little bit of a joke, but I met her at CEO Space, and I think it was still called IBI at the time.
Yes.
And I literally stalked this beautiful woman because she was a producer. She was beautiful, Italian, sexy, and she just created results in the world. And then I literally like follow her around, and she's like, what do you want? And I'm like, I just want to get to know you because I love producers. I love women that can just master certain areas. Of course, she has mastered many areas. And then, of course, as life would have it, we have grown together now for almost 24 years, Maria.
Ah.
Can you believe
So
that?
yes, it was
And now, of
19,
course,
1999. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. I said
1999, so it's
1999.
25
Yeah.
years. Yeah, 25 years. And we just like, and then just to see Passion to Profits, all these different platforms that she had, but very similar in intention and in purpose. And now she has several businesses, and she's in the quadrant of investment, and I'm in the quadrant of business. But of course, in investments, you also have business. But I'm always in awe of her brain. It's just so brilliant around numbers and raising capital. But most beautifully right now, she's involved with quite a few things, but I love her tiny homes endeavor, which is so driven to house many of the unhoused. So, Maria Simone, what say you?
Thank you. I adore you. I feel like this is your life, Doria, because I'm taking a trip through memory lane, and I love a lot of the things that I'm doing actually come full circle back to you. But yes, we've known each other for so many years, and you've been a wonderful role model. I think at the time I was intimidated by your presence because when I started in business, like in 1990, I didn't have, there were no role models. I didn't have women like you around me, so it was really intimidating to have like such a powerful, I felt your energy. You're so powerful. And it's like, wait, you like me? Like you appreciate me? It was like very, I was always like fighting against, you know how it was, right? We didn't really have that voice, that platform. So it was so wonderful to have a new friend, and we could go arm in arm together through life. So yeah, I started out in the corporate sector. I was really successful, but I always had, like, even when I was 11, I started my first business when I was 11 years old. And I used to I was a producer back then. I used to gather the kids in the neighborhood to put on plays. They thought they were playing, but I had like a business. I would say, okay, we're going to rehearse these numbers. I set a stage up and in the backyard, and I contemplated, selling tickets. Oh, we should do a refreshment stand. We can get more money. Like this is how my mind was thinking at 11 years old. And sure enough, later on, I did become a producer. But I left the corporate sector many years ago to start my own business, and it was just such an exhilarating, scary experience because I didn't realize what what a big sucking noise a new business makes. You need to feed it. It needed capital. So I knew how to do the marketing. I know how to build teams. Like I knew how to do the business, but the whole money part was quite fascinating and scary to me. And I sold the business very quickly. I probably left way too much money on the table. But ever since then, I became enthralled by the nature of capital, in financing businesses and money in general. We have a lot of money issues in life. So as an entrepreneur, you best get over that, because if you have, deservability issues and you don't know how to ask for and receive support, that will be your downside. You could have the best idea. So I learned very quickly the power and influence of money, but I'm a capitalist, but an enlightened capitalist. I love to see money circulated into its highest and best use. I love the energy of money. So now we play in that domain. Zen Moose Capital is the mothership. It's our social impact fund. And we have several quadrants. We are investing in creating media that's mainstream media, but it really is transformational. I don't want to preach to the choir. We're not doing kumbaya, but we have to really learn to raise consciousness on the planet. We've got amazing solutions available. But I think if we can support each other in raising consciousness, we'll be able to see and embrace the solutions. So that's the media quadrant. The other one was to tackle affordable housing, or just the housing crisis in general. And then later on, we were looking at health and wellness and green energy. And so during COVID, really briefly, I'll tell you, so we've been on this path of investing and building businesses, and we're award-winning producers, and we were doing our thing. And then during COVID, everything, of course, that area was shut down, but my heart was breaking for the growing housing crisis. And so received a download one day that tiny homes was an agile solution, to the crisis. I'd never built a tiny home. I just know how to do businesses. I know how to solve problems, and I know how to get the money and the people together to make it happen. And out of the blue, an old friend from 20 years ago, Gail Kingsbury, who many of you know if you're a speaker. She worked with Tony Robbins, and I mean, she launched major platforms with Harv Eker and Brian Tracy, and she's just a legend in the speaking and marketing industry. And she calls me and she goes, "I know you do financing. Do you finance tiny homes?" And I said, "Shut the front door." Like, we were just thinking about that. And long story short, she had moved to Arizona, wanted to start a tiny home business, had the same vision. She was starting the business, but really needed more support and partnership. So 4 of us came together, put the idea for a business, and in 2 days, we know how to start and ramp up and execute on a business plan. And so this is my thing. And so we demoed our first on May 1st, 2021. We demoed our concept to create a tiny home, very livable, luxurious space that people were moving around during COVID, but people can actually live it and really enjoy it, and get them out of their cars and get them out of, cramped spaces with family and all of that. And so within 2 days, we took it over $1 million in orders, and we have not looked back. We looked at each other that weekend and we're like, "Oh my gosh, I guess we have to build a company now." And so we're now one of the fastest growing tiny home companies in the nation. We have a beautiful product. We ship all over. We supported, and that's why being with Doria is so meaningful, because I went to visit Doria in Maui right before the dreadful fires, the horrific fires that wiped out this beautiful area. And thank God we have a solution, and we've been shipping to Maui now to support the people. And we're shipping to areas people just don't have solutions. So it's been a godsend. And we're so blessed to be able to do that. So we invested and started the company. We're building it, and now outside investors are coming in, and we're on a tremendous trajectory. We have millions of dollars in orders in the pipeline, and we're giving people a place to live, which is so meaningful. So I can't tell you. That's like my whole thesis is, if you're going to build a business, build it to have impact. Build it to scale. Treat your business like a nonprofit, like you're doing good in the world, but create an opportunity to have lots of profit so you could do lots of good. And that, we really, it speaks to everything that's in my heart. So that's one of our companies, but that is like such a beautiful, blessed, company right now. And now through our foundation, we're actually starting to build up, buy RV parks, older RV parks in urban areas, and reimagine them into vibrant, intentional tiny home communities where people can live and they can work, where they live. I just have to, real quick, I have to tell you, I just saw an article in Sedona that, thank you for bringing that up. I just saw an article like Sedona businesses are encouraging, there's no housing in Sedona, and businesses are encouraging their workers to live in their car so that they can get to work on time. We visited Prescott Hospital. We just started shipping to Prescott Valley. Prescott Hospital has a shortage of 200 jobs because the workers can't find housing. So this is a real crisis, and we are literally solving the problem all over the country. So we're so grateful for that opportunity. So that's my news story, but it fits into my whole. I'm a soul and money catalyst. So if there's a problem, I'm going to build a business to solve it and make it scalable and sustainable, so it's not wanting for everything, and it's really serving humanity. So thank you for it's such a pleasure to be here. I didn't have mentors and supporters growing up. So if we can share this information with women, they'll all be doing amazing things. Thank you.
I'm left with
Wow.
wow.
Now, do I surround
Wow.
myself with rock stars? So now
Yes.
my other beautiful another business associate partner in many ways is beautiful Jessica Conti. And Jessica, I love she has a title called multi-sector entrepreneur. And one of the things that I love about Jessica, I'm trying to remember when we met, but I think it was about 14, 15, 16 years ago. And her and Jerry Conti, her husband. But one of the things that I admire the most about her, even though she's super amazing in business, is I love the way she is a mother and her son. And I remember, because I have this whole thing about schools, as many of you know, we're about transforming educational systems around the world and eradicate poverty and hunger. And many people have found that homeschooling is a solution for them. I mean, this was the busiest woman on the planet, but yeah, she just took the time to be with her son and to educate him until he got to a place. He's a beautiful young man now. And so when you see a woman that is so committed to her family and works so closely with her husband, which to me, it's amazing. When couples work together, to me, that's a miracle. That's a long story, because I tried to work with when I was married to my husband then. That was a whole other story. But many of you out there listening to this, you are doing that. You are working very closely with your spouses. That's one thing. The other one, of course, it's such a long story. We're going to have a 3-hour show just to share the story. But Jessica and her husband have brought about this beautiful platform, which is called Legacy Live, and is part of a larger platform called Legacy Alliance Education. And Legacy Live is very committed to bringing some of the best programs, some of the best, most heart-centered in many ways, beautiful people to continue to teach us, entrepreneurship, to teach the masses. And of course, because they are very heart-centered and understand the generalized principles and how they work, they have attracted a beautiful young man that has a new platform that looks like Clubhouse, but it's way beyond Clubhouse, where we met, Ava, right? Where we met, and Mo brought me back. I love Clubhouse because of that. And it's called Breakout. And so they're going to be bringing out a beautiful platform for many of us to be able to share our education. They're going to be having live programs. We're going to be going to Vegas on the 16th, I believe, and the 17th. I think we have a party on the 15th of May. So let's go to Vegas. And we are like collaborating. So just so all of you understand this, like, there is no competition in the world. When we become part of their platforms, they become part of our platforms. The same thing with the Los Angeles Tribune. This is truly here a demonstration of total collaboration. We support tiny homes, we support education, we support media. And so to come back to Jessica does many things, including her background since she has all the time in the world, she decided to create another beautiful business, which is transporting us in one of the most elegant, gorgeous little, I don't know what it is called. It's beyond a limousine. And so Jessica, heart center, loving, prosperous. Oh, I forgot to say, she was a race driver. I think a motorcycle. She loves cars. She is a total gorgeous human being. And thank you, Jessica, for being here. What say you?
Oh, thank you so much, Dame Doria, for that introduction. It's so surreal to me because here I am with you, and you were my first mentor, and still are. But what I remember so specifically, the day I met you, the first time I heard your voice, you were on stage. And wow, I mean, the presence that you carried in that room, uh, talk about the strength and power of a woman, but you just ooze love and wisdom. And that is so important for us as women, to be able to have these role models in our life for us to grow. And I know, Maria, you have the same story. Doria was a mentor and role model for you too. Um, and Maria, I have to acknowledge you. You were also a mentor to me when I first met you at your Enlightened Entrepreneur Summit. I think I sent you a picture of that just a few days ago. It was a beautiful memory. And you two are such a big part of my story. Um, like Doria, you had mentioned, I started, my adult life in sales and a career. And yes, I did. I was into motorsports and race motorcycles. That was my past life. But I'm, a traditional woman at heart. And I stepped into the entrepreneurial space just right before I met the love of my life, my husband, Jerry. And we have since then, over the last 18 years, collectively, created many incredible ventures and businesses together. I probably will relate to a lot of people listening right now that I unapologetically am the woman beside the man. I don't say behind, because I have really grown over the last 20 years into a very strong, passionate entrepreneur, and partner with my husband in almost all of our ventures together. And that is a very important role, probably one of the most important roles that you can step into when you're in a marriage and a business partnership, because there is such an importance there to have the strength and stability to have an environment, for you both, especially your husband and business partner, to be their best, to remove any of the, drama from the homestead, to, just uplift each other and always be, that person that's going to cheer your other partner and spouse on and never tear them down. And that is a very hard role to step into. So speeding up to the last 20 years of my life and many businesses and many different industries, my biggest passion right now is connecting with women who have walked my steps and who are in leadership roles, women of influence, educators, women running businesses, because I get you. I get them. And sometimes we're stepping into this incredible space of impacting other people's lives, but it's also a very masculine space, and we're wearing this mask, to step into our strength and our power mode. And oftentimes we don't have that sisterhood or that space to give ourselves the love and care that we need as women, to fuel our souls and ourselves and step more into our feminine power and into our intuition and into our mother energy. So it is just an honor to be here. And this week also, I am launching one of my biggest passion projects. It is a mastermind and retreat for women in leadership. And I think that I did share the link, but it'll be shared pretty widely over the next week. And I'm just thrilled and honored to invite women in this space to join us and learn and grow and have adventure together.
Well,
Thank you so much, Jessica. Yes, and we're gonna run the links later on for the mastermind retreat. What a powerful story of evolution and how both Dame Doria and Dame Maria Simone has been instrumental in your life. So as so many other women, and so I wanted to give back the mic to Dame Doria. Dame Doria, today is a special day, and you shared to us why. Would you tell us? Would you share with us what else is what's exciting that you're birthing today? That you're
Oh,
gifting the whole world with. I'm like, I saw it on a sneak peek, at Fridays with Doria, and I'm like, wow, this is going to revolutionize a lot of businesses and a lot of how people could make more and gain more by leveraging systems and by leveraging connections and relationships. So, Dame Doria, tell us more about what's special about today.
well, well, without unbeknownst to anybody, we just decided to do it on a Wednesday, and then we realized it's March 27th. Of course, I mean, do we really think that we're running the world? Come on, really? When you really think about it, don't you think all of us, when you get to a place where you begin to live at the speed of grace, you start living at the speed of miracles. I mean, after you do, I mean, I've been working on myself for nearly 48 years, and it's like, I think I'm planning something, and then boom, something comes up that is so much more magnificent than I thought it was going to be. So basically, just to give you a little tiny background, my business is extremely successful in the Asia Pacific region. We have over 200,000 graduates, and most of them in many ways are in Asia, and that we have changed the world. I mean, many of you graduates were the people that actually were behind the fact that Singapore has one of the best educational systems in the world. I think it's one of the top 5. And so many of you graduates have changed the world in Australia and New Zealand. We changed many things in China, but we haven't even talked about that. And in Hong Kong and Taiwan and Thailand, Indonesia, India. I mean, I know I'm forgetting some very important, Cambodia, of course. And Japan, and then now lately Vietnam. So it's like we have beautiful promoting partners, again, people that we collaborate with. And during COVID, when I met many of you, what happened was that I got into Clubhouse. Mo Rock invited me to go into, I think it just, you used to be able to text people. And out of the clear blue, I get this message from Mo to join the 1%ers Only Club, right, that he's running. And it was like all of a sudden I had this realization in North America, the country, the USA, the country that literally created entrepreneurship, put entrepreneurship on the planet. There was no question about it, that it was Americans that put the spirit of entrepreneurship in the world. All of a sudden, I'm started listening to all these people sharing. And of course, it was COVID. So, we were all pretty, like, okay, what are we going to do? But the basics were not understood. The basics, not only of financial literacy, because I don't know if you guys know this, but they did a study, and I have to find the link. They did a study of traditional financial literacy. Like when you have enough money, I remember when I went with Merrill Lynch back in the day when Robert Kiyosaki, Kim and I completed our 9-year partnership. We had substantial amounts of money. They walked away with more than $1 million. I was close to $1 million. And you go, oh, what do you do with that? So all your friends say, oh, you got to go to Merrill Lynch, blah, blah, blah. And then, you put the money there and you have this card that every time you spend, it's like a debit card. But then you tap into that education. I mean, and I learned a lot from them. There's no question about it. Traditional, right? Traditional financial literacy. But they have found out that there's a very small percentage of people that don't, that do use that and become successful. But like 97% of people that are taught how to grow their money, they don't. Why don't they? Well, this is what we've been talking about for the last 45 years, 46 years for the business school, 45 years for our Money and You program, which is all the basics. And they are distinctions. And one of them, of course, is leverage. Now, let me just ask you something really quickly. when I show you this, right? Okay, so I was at a ship. We were at a ship with beautiful Jessica and the whole group. I would hand out these cards and there would be a gasp, right? But actually, it's a business card, right? Look, it's a business card, right? My business card. And why, when I hold this up, this is just another set of those business cards. But look at that, right? Look at that. Why do we viscerally, right, react to that? Why do we? Because in our unconscious is working 100% of the time. And whatever beliefs, whatever experiences you have, and this is why, I always send people, this with Doria and the resources, please look at magical exercises and begin to clear your consciousness around money and what you learn from your family, from your parents. I mean, I can hardly wait, Jessica, for your son when he grows up, being around, Money and You, being around you guys. I mean, his deservability is so much higher than most children ever, or teens. Well, he's a young man now. But because he grew up in that, well, Jaden is a very blessed young man to have those kind of parents. Most of us don't. And then I began to see in Clubhouse that people had no idea about leverage, about creating an economic engine, about the business success model, which you can go to moneyandyou.com and download it as a gift. And now you have all these people. And then, of course, Mo and the leadership would have me talking for however long I wanted to talk. And then, of course, these people were like, oh my God, I never knew that. I mean, my messenger, my chat would like explode. And I realized that in the US, we have gone backwards. We have not gone forward. We have gone backwards. And it has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with politics. It has to do with the information that we're constantly, and yes, no about social media. I have a whole thing about social media that I'm for it and not for it. But really, it has to do with the core of us not being educated about the basics. So now, getting people to Money and You 3.5 days was, for many people, it was difficult. So finally, how long has COVID been over? A couple of years. And all my friends are applauding. I'm coming out with, it's called Money and You, Doria's Distinctions. And it's a program. It's a program with 5 modules. And basically I am going to be putting out because I am very successful and I can afford it to just give it away. The thing is that when people don't understand the principles of exchange, what happens is that people take things for granted. I have given many things away and had people not do much of anything. So we have to cover our expenses. It's going to be, I think, $297. But the most exciting part is that then I decided to launch an ambassador program, which is for people to go ahead, and just promote this through traditional marketing, online marketing, that many of our friends are so masterful at it. But the great thing about it is that I have tapped into these masters that understand strategic alliances, that understand quote unquote affiliate programs. And I didn't want to call graduates affiliates. It didn't feel right. I go, they're much more than affiliates, because my crowd, the people around the world, they rave about Money and You. They rave about the business school and creating wealth and powerful presentation and all the other programs. So they're more like, the word ambassador came out when I was texting somebody. They were at an event and I said, you are my ambassador. So I'm creating an ambassador program just the same way I am an ambassador for New Education. And that name was given to me back in the 80s, because when I met, and I'm going to drop a big name here, when I met with Fidel Castro when I was only 34 years old in 1984, I was literally introduced as an ambassador of New Education, because that's how you talk to people that are world leaders. And so as an ambassador, then people are excited because now they'll be able to come to Money and You, and also to support them because it's going to be a very hefty, sharing with them. And we're going to play the game of internet marketing, of the game of marketing, but like, I'm happy I'll get a little bit of it. But the thing is that now all of us, and please, all of you, today at 4 p.m. California time, just go to moneyandyou.com/affiliate registration. If somebody can put that on also on Facebook and the other places, and just register as an ambassador for us, and then be able to. Today we're going to be learning from one of the masters that I had at Fridays with Doria last week, who was sharing with us that in every area, in every industry, when you begin to find people that you can collaborate with and you can be an ambassador for them, and this is where now you're beginning to see the lines of competition disappear. We're demonstrating it here, and then you can have, there are people that actually absolutely, you must have all these stats, you must be able to show how much you can sell and all that. And this master, his name is Rico Davis. Rico Davis kind of was feeling comfortable introducing me to some of these big affiliate. They call them super affiliates. These boys and girls have amazing, massive lists because of, even though I'm not proven as an online rock star, I have another rock star status, which is I've been doing this for 45 years. So what we're going to do, we're going to start spreading the word, but alongside, just for those of, so you understand, I'm building my Doria Cordova Foundation, which of course with grants and with many of my friends that will be contributing to it, I will be able to then launch many programs that then will be for people that are definitely resource poor, that need to be educated in entrepreneurial skills. So there is the clearing of the money. Okay, so when you get plugged in and have any feelings about it, you should be very neutral. Very neutral. It's like, this you deserve. You deserve to have this, the real one, at home. Have it everywhere. I like you guys, I like to tell people to put money everywhere. So when you open a drawer, there's money there. It's like we are restructuring our unconscious so that the law of attraction can kick in. But also what I want you to know is, like, I love this. I love being part of the Los Angeles Tribune. Thank you so much for putting my ad underneath the billionaire, that he's not going to miss the ad. What the thing is, that you get to a place where it is so important for you. Everything that you do is like creating so much value. And then you will attract being invited, like Jessica and Jerry invited me to be part of their, the Beautiful Legacy Live, platform, which has a lot of power. It has a lot of prestige. That's a whole beautiful story that actually comes all the way. Whether Robert Kiyosaki wanted to give me the gift or not, he did. This is a gift from the 36 million people that have read Rich Dad Poor Dad, which comes from Money and You, are now ready to learn more. So it's like you need to understand leverage. You need to understand economic engine. You need to understand what happened in the last 4 years with the 3 major global paradigm shifts that have occurred. If you think you're going crazy, it's not because the stars are not aligning. It's because the world has changed so drastically. And I'm going to complete with this. If you're not ready with your businesses, with your systems, with technology, look, AI is here. By the way, at the Money and You coming up in San Diego, May 1 through 4, the guy that was at Secret Knock, Greg Reed's event, that was the biggest hit with the robot, is a Money and You graduate. He got his start at Money and You. It's like he was like, whoa, turned on. And now there's going to be a robot visiting Money and You where we can, and it's programmed with Chat GPT, right? And so we'll be able to have a robot. It's just going to be visiting for a little while. But this is how the miracles begin to happen. But you need to understand AI is here, okay? Whether it has been around for over 40 years, my beloved. Just, He says, I've known about AI for 40 years. It's just that we're finding out about it. And now you can use it. The regular human being can use it. But like when you have fears, process that. So you have mastery, self mastery. You clear your deservability. You learn about the economic engine. Leverage every morning. Ask yourself every morning, how am I leveraging myself? When you see these beautiful humans here, they're all leveraging the Los Angeles Tribune, Mo Rock, and the team, and Ava, and Alicia, and everyone here, that you are now have leverage. Leverage is key. But more than anything else, you have to have your deservability to know that you truly deserve to be wealthy and pick a really big world problem, because the wealthiest, richest people on the planet, whether you like them or not, have solved a big problem. Now let's go and solve some problems and create wealth for yourself. And that's why I'm so excited today.
Thank you so much, Dame Doria. I would love to be able to give the mic to both Jessica and Dame. And just what are your thoughts about, Dame Doria doesn't run out of new things, to, like, for now, if you've noticed, 27 days of broadcasting Her Story Unfolding, for the first time, I have a title in my name, because Dame Doria was messaging in the private chat, Ava, put your title. And it's leverage, right? Leverage. Yeah. So thank you, Dame Doria, for the mentorship. Thank you for who you are. But I'd love to give the mic to Jessica and Dame Marie, whoever wants to go first. Jessica, you're muted. I see that you're talking. Okay.
All right.
Dame
Well,
Marie, let's go.
how do I dovetail off of that? So certainly, Doria, what you are launching right now is so important right now in our world. And I really encourage everyone listening to be a part of this. And how I see it impacting humanity on such a big global scale, it is something that is our responsibility. Really. Maria, don't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and we've been, Doria's laughing because we've been saying this for years and years. Like we have to share you more, like bite-sized pieces, with the world. I will say, one of the things I love to say is, having awareness creates a shift, and taking action creates the transformation. And when you attend a Money in You program, I mean, it's a very transformational environment by design. And so not everyone's ready for that huge, they don't think they are. They're not ready for the huge transformation. But I got to tell you, if you're moving forward in the world, in business and whatever, and you're thinking success and wealth, if you haven't done the work to clear, your own personal obstacles and mindset shifts and all of that, you're going to constantly sabotage yourself. So I think having a program like that, just introducing people to some of these concepts, and that will definitely have people create some awareness, like, oh, wait, I'm missing out on something. And so I think it's really important to have this work out there even further, even more than it has been. So I'm really excited for all of this. So yes, I agree with you completely. And I'm so glad, because I didn't want to follow her.
How do you follow that, right?
And that's amazing too, because you all, Jessica, Dame Maria, Dame Doria, your work is deeply embedded in socially conscious entrepreneurship, creating thriving businesses, but understanding that consciousness permeates all that we do, and really creating opportunities for individuals to, like what you're doing, Dame Maria, with the tiny homes, have accessibility to homes to be able to get to work, to support their ability to work, their ability to be entrepreneurs, but have a safe space, a home, and repurpose environments like RV parks for tiny homes. Jessica, what you're doing in the work, we haven't even really talked about it yet, but to create accessibility through Wi-Fi, right, in the Caribbean, and to be able to enable access and connectivity so people can connect to the world, they can connect to their devices to do work, and they can learn from other individuals. And then Dame Doria, I mean, you do so much, and you speak about relationships. You live and breathe relationships and how that pours into your work. Dame Doria, with you hit on this concept earlier, and I would love to deep dive into this concept because it's so important, especially when individuals grow up with different mindsets and have lived through different life experiences, which is deservability and your ability within to understand that you deserve everything that is coming your way. Just waking up in the morning, we are deserving of so much, but it's often a feeling that is difficult for some to really feel based on experiences that they've been through. At the beginning of the program, you talked about why March 27th was such a special day in your heart, and it was through pain and heartache that really led through transformation and celebration. And look what you're launching on this day on March 27th. What are ways that the women that are tuning in, the young girls that are listening in right now, can learn more about how to approach the idea of deservability, how to approach the idea of I am enough, I deserve to be able to excel in work, I deserve to be able to make income, I deserve to be able to make income and also make a difference in life? What are some concepts that they can think about around deservability? Because it is something that can be the most challenging thing to feel and really feel from the inside out when you wake up in the morning.
I'm going to quickly cover that, but I also would love for Maria and Jessica to address that because all of us
Yeah.
have different styles. And I think it would be so good for them to also address it. But very, very, very quickly, I just wanted to say I've already shared that, the links where they can go to. And then, of course, for those of you who are parents, make sure how you are talking to your children about money and finances. But more than anything else, just know that we live in a world of scarcity. The world is based on the Malthusian theory of economics, and I really get into that in my new program on distinctions. And so what we want to do is, like, right now, just know there is sufficiency in the world. And once you really get coming from sufficiency, it's like Edward Deming, the productivity genius on the planet, who there are some great things that he says, continuous improvement. That's yes. We are a product of continuous improvement. That's one thing. The other thing is that from what theory, that was his teaching. One of his greatest teaching was from what measurement, from what theory have you come up with a decision? That includes all people that do research, whether it's scientific, whether it's mathematical, or whether you are making a decision in business. From what theory? When you come from the theory that there is enough and sufficiency, the answers that will come up for you will be very different. So, Maria, what say you? What are some of the practices for you?
Well, I want to. I want to be really clear because we sound like a lot of unicorns and rainbows, and I just want to be clear, especially to those who are venturing out and doing something different. It can be really lonely and challenging, especially if you're innovating. If you have an idea, if you're creating something new, if you're innovating, you're doing something that's different than others. Guess what? Not everyone's going to see it in the beginning. So you're going to get more naysayers. You're going to be shot down a lot more. And it will happen. And you're going to have some really bad days. I can't tell you how many times. I know, Jessica, we talk about this, during the course of building businesses and doing things. We've had some devastating things happen. I mean, I literally have worked with the FBI to send people to prison who are, who have taken advantage of it. I've been many times in a fetal position under the covers, like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do now? Kind of thing. Like, those days really happen. But I think the way to prevent that, if you want to go forward and you want to have success, I go a little beyond deservability right now. What I'm saying is, yes, you have to get into a mindset. Yes, you deserve it. And if God gives you an idea to do something, it is because you deserve it. Like, that is the whole point. You do deserve to do that. So it's not like, oh, me, God, you made a mistake. No, there's a reason you got it. But what's really critical is what you do with it. Number one, make sure it's something that you can love and have purpose behind. And if it's not purposeful, if you're just going after something to make money, you'll fail. I know Jessica and Doria, we never do anything just to make money. Everything we have to do has high purposes. Because I'll tell you, on those days when you get knocked down, you have got to be able to come back up really fast. Otherwise, you'll stay down and people will keep you down. And so when you have purpose, it becomes bigger than you, and it drives you to move forward. The other thing is you've got to surround yourself with people. Do not do anything in a void. Don't think that you're ever, ever, ever alone. There are people constantly around you. You just have to open up to it. You have to ask. You have to receive help. Like, we are all in different industries and we call each other constantly to support each other. Or I didn't know how to build tiny homes, for gosh sakes. They don't want me to build tiny homes, but I knew how to surround myself with the right people and get the right support. I have wonderful partners that are actually in there doing the work. So you've got to allow that to happen, because most people, as soon as they have a notion to do something in their mind, like, oh, I don't deserve support, I'm not going to ask for support. Who am I to do this? I got to do all the jobs. I have to prove myself. That's a lot of hoo-ha. Just as soon as you have an idea to do something, just open yourself up to receive the support, intentionally build a team, have high purpose. And I'll tell you, on those days when you get knocked down or people take advantage of you, or, somebody trashes you on social media for no reason because they're just jealous or whatever, you will be unstoppable. And that confidence, that deservability just grows and grows and grows. But you have to set your guardrails, like you prepare for that, because it will happen. Those crappy days will happen. I guarantee it. It's how you bounce back from that.
You hit the head on the nail on that one, Maria. It's so important for everyone listening to understand. Yes, you have a passionate idea you want to bring forth into the world. Know that all businesses, they're roller coaster rides. Maria, I've been in that fetal position before. More failures than successes, right? And the number one asset you're going to have in your business is you. You have to invest in yourself. You have to continually grow, not just surround yourself with those that are going to educate you and inspire you, but put yourself in networks and communities that you can learn from each other and collaborate and get that help that you're going to need. It's almost a full-time job, to grow yourself. And so I had the biggest honor with my husband, Jerry, to be promoters for a period of time of the Money and You program here in the US, and to witness, all of the graduates going through that program, the transformations that people have when they finally get it. They get that mindset Doria talks about. They understand, responsibility in themselves to step into their greatness and to solve problems in our world and to impact people's lives in the biggest way. And you have to work on yourself to do that. That is the number one reason why my husband Jerry and I are so big and passionate on launching Legacy Live out into the place of a global world of people that are going to need education from expert educators to step into their greatness. We are connecting educators with learners on a global ed tech platform. And that's, also a big responsibility. But, just right back to the point, you have to grow yourself. You have to go through Money and You. You have to understand that, stepping into a world of entrepreneurship and fulfilling your divine plan includes working on yourself continuously.
Yeah. That's beautiful. And it applies to entrepreneurship, but to everything you do in life, right?
Yes.
You, how you pour into you, how you show up in the spaces that you are a part of for yourself and for other people. It's all connected. And also how you treat relationships in your life. It's also a reflection of how you feel about yourself in your life. So it's all connected. We are all connected. And you three that have joined us today are a testament to that. And also a testament to what can happen when you do the self-work, when you understand your voice, and when you take a stance in the world and in entrepreneurship, but in a socially conscious way to uplift individuals, whether it's giving them access to resources, giving them space to just be able to be themselves, educating them, connecting them with other people that is what it is truly all about. And you all are a walking testament to that in your own right, but also how you speak about each other, right? Here on Her Story Unfolding and beyond, right? How you pour into each other, because we're all connected. And as Dame Maria is doing something and she can call you, Jessica, for advice based on your experiences that may have been different, you can share that knowledge that you gleaned with her to uplift the work that she does that is then connected to what Dame Doria is doing. We're all connected. And so having these stories talking about relationships and partnerships and ambassadorship, and how when we all work together, we're contributing for the people around us, but it has a ripple effect on society, on communities, on families, and then that work just continues. So it has been an absolute pleasure to be speaking with you in this truly dynamic discussion today for Her Story Unfolding on this special day. Would love for each one of you to share closing remarks for those that are tuning in live and that will be watching this broadcast over again on what you would like to share with them. We are coming to an end of Women's History Month, an end of Her Story Unfolding segment series, but there are so many stories unfolding all around the world, and we would love for you all to just share remarks with our audience for gems that you want them to think about today and beyond. And I would love to ask Dame Maria to start us off, please.
Absolutely. And thank you for creating this space. It's been a pleasure and an honor. And I also, real quick too, I wanted to mention, I think about the whole Money and You environment, the family, because I've been a part of it for a long time. There's hundreds of thousands of people in the network. And so once you are connected to that, it's such a beautiful source of team and resources. But I think what's really important is do things with purpose now. I mean, you don't have to change the world. You don't have to be curing cancer. It's okay, whatever you choose to do. But do the things that you love to do that have purpose and will have high impact. Because right now, in this post-COVID capitalistic society, people are expecting that. Investors like to see that. Like the people that are being more purposeful are being elevated. There's something magical about how fast they move. It's really wonderful to watch in business. So I encourage people to do that. Don't feel obligated. Stop doing obligations. Stop doing things just to make money. It's like, get more on purpose now. And it's okay. Whatever you choose is fine. You don't have to be like this huge pillar of whatever. You'll get there eventually, but you're going to make a difference in someone's life if you just stay on your purpose. So I really think that's really important right now for people. And don't do it alone, please. There's so much support out there. It's so amazing to watch.
Yeah, I can dovetail off of that one too, Maria. I think that a great message for everyone listening, especially women. We're discussing her story this month here, and it is to tap into your intuition. All the answers are within you. Maybe it's not that you're meant to build a giant company, or solve a giant world global problem. Maybe your divine plan is to raise your child to be the leader or the best that he or she can be. And that's your call to action, your divine, plan in life. And the only way you'll know that answer is to get still and quiet with yourself and ask for that illumination. And you'll know it when you receive it. You'll feel it in every cell of your body, like, yes, that is exactly what I'm built to do right now. And surround yourself with the people that will support you and step into that space that you're meant to be.
So beautiful.
Wow, that is so beautiful. I'm going to just complete with that. I'm going to piggyback on what Jessica just said. You all know that I have a 98-year-old mama. She's going to turn 99 on June 14. And she has such a bright mind, before COVID, before that, she has a good case of dementia kicked in, but she still has dementia. And prior to that, long time ago, I was going through all these different principles. I would visit Mom as much as I could, and I would tell her all these things. And that's one of the things I really miss, being able to call her on the phone and tell her all the good news. She was always the first person I would call my mamacita. Whenever anything exciting happened, she was the first one, and many times she didn't understand. And one time I was talking about purpose and about mission, and I was explaining it to her and explaining to her, the business success model and, the fruit bowl and all that. I was going through the principles because she knew she wasn't going to attend Money and You. And I said, Mama, what do you think your purpose was? And she goes, oh, I'm completely clear. It was to have you and your sister. And I said, wow. She goes, remember, I used to be a businesswoman. I had my own beauty salon and I understood all these things a long time ago because she actually did understand leverage. She understand the business success model. She was very successful in the 50s. And, she was amazing. And she says, but what really happened, I was able to live through the two of you. And my sister and I have very different lives, but we both have very beautiful lives. And so thank you, Jessica, for reminding us, to acknowledge our mothers, to acknowledge our children, because they are really our leverage in many ways. So just know that you've already physically duplicated yourself. Now your consciousness has to be so clear that it is important for you to pass that along and duplicate yourself at that particular level. And lastly, there's some noise in the back. I think, Jessica, it might
Oh,
be
forgive me.
you,
Yes.
but I think it's Jerry. I recognize Jerry's voice. And one of the things that I just want you to know as we're finishing up on Women's Month, that women already run the world. They already do. It's just that hasn't been acknowledged. I mean, there are so many women. Personally, I know hundreds, if not thousands of women that are behind all the what's happening. It's like their partners are like really in like the Wizard of Oz. They're the front and they're the ones who are running the show in the back. So just really acknowledge that this is the time and it's safe for us to step forward and just go, you know what, we're running the world already. We might as well just lead it in a different direction that is already part of our DNA. Because as women, our DNA is to be a protector, to be a nurturer, to be loved, to take care of things. Those that don't is great exception, but that's it. And men have another job, and there are many ways they do. They used to go out. There's this whole thing around our natural inclination. So let's bring forward our natural inclinations of being loving, of nurturing, and make the world work for 100% of humanity. So that's why we're celebrating women this month.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dame Doria. And that's so powerful and beautiful. And thank you, Dame Doria. I know it's a very, very busy day for you, and you honored us with your presence and bringing your friends, in her story unfolding. So thank you so much. And I just want to really take the opportunity, Dame Doria, to honor you with an award from the Los Angeles Tribune. I know you already have the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Los Angeles Tribune, and we couldn't go higher than that. But we have a Women's Legacy Award also for you, Dame Doria, for this month's Her Story Unfolding, and it's called Global Impact Excellence Award, and it's in recognition of a woman whose unparalleled dedication to global impact through entrepreneurial and personal development. This award celebrates her transformative leadership and unwavering commitment to empowering individuals worldwide. Her vision, innovation, and tireless efforts have transformed countless lives, including mine and everyone on the screen, and creating a lasting legacy of excellence and positive change on a global scale. Dame Doria, we honor you.
Thank you.
Okay.
That can go on my webpage. Send it to me.
Yes, we'll send it, Dame Doria. We'll send it. Um, And I know, Dame Doria, you have a 1:30 event. Thank you so much. We just want to honor you. Dame Maria Simon, thank you. Jessica Conti, thank you. And to all our audience watching around the world, whether you're watching this in recording or on broadcast, we celebrate all of you. You know, you can continue to submit your submissions for recognition, and we will feature them in our next Thought Leader edition by by emailing community at latribuneonline.com. So community at latribuneonline.com. You'll see it on the ticker. Until next time, Alicia, please close us out.
Yes, thank you again, Dame Doria, Jessica, and Dame Maria for joining us and sharing gems about relationships, intuition, socially conscious entrepreneurship. And love what you shared, Jessica. It doesn't matter what you do, for all of you tuning in, you are making a difference in your world by showing up, by contributing. Like Dame Maria said earlier, we appreciate you three for joining us as our special guest today. And to all of you tuning in to Her Story Unfolding, the stories continue to unfold. We are just on a page in a book that is still being written, and you all have a story. So we ask that you see yourselves, feel seen, feel heard, feel valued, and find partnerships and relationships and work collaborations that enrich your own lives and the lives of those around you in your own special way, because we are all special. Thank you so much for tuning in to Her Story Unfolding today, and continue to look out. There are many, many more segments in store for you all. Until next time, thank you for joining us, and we will see you again soon.
Thank you.
Welcome to a celebration at the precipice of time, where the power of women knows no bounds. Experience Her Story Unfolding, a reawakening of our collective consciousness to the monumental achievements of our foremothers, a tribute to the battles they fought, rights they've secured, and paths they've paved that women all over the world are continuing to navigate and expand upon. Her stories are unfolding, empowering growing, building legacies of pioneering women by sharing their stories, celebrating their accomplishments, and embracing the rights and privileges they've bestowed to us for generations to come.